Hello everybody, hope you're doing very well and welcome back to today's cryptocurrency technical analysis, which is in the form of a live stream. So I hope you all enjoy. And yeah, Valentine's Day, and we're all here for a nice Bitcoin technical analysis. What a way could you start your day better today than with a live stream with the crypto family? No, the answer is you could not. So let's begin. So obviously you all know what I have been, well, you may or may not know what I've been trading over the last few days, and that is these big amount of trend lines. Okay, so I just want to explain what we've got here, okay, because I know for some people, beginners, this could be quite a confusing sort of setup that we got on here, okay. So I'm just going to explain first what I've got on, and then we'll go over, how I'm actually trading this. In a bit more detail, because I have obviously covered this briefly in like a few other videos and posts that I've done, but I just thought it's easier for me to explain what I'm doing on the via a video. Okay, so today I plan to cover Bitcoin, EOS, ZIL, a little bit of BitTorrent, and also BNB, Binance Coin. Okay, and that was a very nice trade from today. This was a scalp trade, but I'm just going to cover it if we have time. I don't want this video to go on too long because I am actually going out tonight and got things to do. I'm aiming for about half an hour. But yeah, hello everybody. Hope you all are very well. Y estamos listos para empezar. Os amo. So yeah, let's go into this. So firstly, what have I got on here? So if people would like, they can obviously copy the charts. Up to you. So just I'm not going to delete them because I've got the things lined up. But obviously the first trend line that I've got here is from the top on the 29th of November, and that's just extending this down. Okay, so that's the top trend line, the top sort of resistance trend line that we're looking at here on Bitcoin. Very, very valid, and one that you all of you really need to have this on your chart, okay, because it's the most valid resistance trend line that we've got at the moment. Okay, so that's just taking it from the top on the 29th of November, extending that down to the 24th and just expanding it. Okay, and then from the bottom, we're taking our low on the 15th of December, okay, and we're expanding that across to get the 6th of February low and also the 8th of February low. And when you zoom in, this gives us a very valid support and a very valid resistance, both with 3 touches on the top and one on the bottom. So they're both valid, both 100% confirmed support and resistance lines. And these are the overall support and resistances that you really need to be watching over Bitcoin. And, we have the possibility of being within here for another month, okay? So there's the possibility that we remain within here and just get chop within this for the potential of like coming up to mid-March, okay, before there's the potential. Obviously it doesn't have to reach the apex right at the end here, but we can still expect to see some chop in here before we then either break upwards. Okay, we are obviously going to break up from here or break down, where then we're going to see the potential of maybe a descending triangle. Okay, that's where we're going to potentially see the descending. Or if we break up from here, then we can start to come up and test some highs. But that's the first trend lines that I've obviously got. That support and resistance give us this symmetrical triangle. Moving on, I have got this pitchfork in here. Okay, so the pitchfork is taken from the swing low that we had, okay, the swing low on the 15th of December, up to the swing high, which was on around the 23rd of December, 24th of December. Okay, so that was the one touch, the second touch, and then I've taken this from the third touch of the pitchfork down onto that low on the 27th of December. And this is an inside pitchfork, okay. I have adjusted it slightly, so it's an inside pitchfork, not the original. So yeah, you're going to have to make that change as well if you want to line this up the same as me. So an inside pitchfork there. Okay, and that then gives us our medium line here in yellow. Then we have the 0.5 and the 1.5 lines on this. Okay, so without further ado, one more line to cover. I nearly forgot the parallel channel that I believe that we are in. Okay, so this parallel channel here, where this is lined up, just so you can see the same way I've got it lined up from the top again on the 24th of December, and taken from the bottom where it started for me, which was on the 19th of December. So I've lined it up with this 19th of December low rather than these lows here. Okay, so from this 9th of December low, then we have a small wicks below, which is absolutely fine. We have wick here, really, really close, an exact wick touch. Okay, wick touch, and then we've obviously then joined up with our symmetrical triangle. Okay, so this is like a really, really nice pitchfork in my opinion. Really, really nice for how it's got respected. Okay, touches the top, Actually, we come along the midline, touch the top, touch the bottom, touch the midline, drop down, touch the midline, touch the top, touch the bottom, midline, bottom, midline, bottom, midline, okay? And now we're getting held down by the 1.5, okay? So that's, for me, what I'm looking at right now. And what I actually noticed was if you double click on this and you can extend to the left, okay? You can extend this parallel channel to the left just to see what's happened in the past. And what's really interesting, although obviously, let me just show you what's happened here. So taking off the extend left, I've started this parallel channel from here, okay? So I've started that parallel channel from there. But if you expand to the left to see how this has reacted in the history, well, we're going to actually see some quite interesting things. Or interesting for me. Okay, so we obviously see it on our original breakdown. Okay, from our original breakdown when we broke down from around 6k. Okay, we broke down on 6k. Where did we bounce? We bounced at the middle of this trend line. Okay, so we obviously bounced at the middle of this parallel channel. So we bounced at the middle of the parallel channel, came up, tested the top of the parallel channel, came down to the bottom of the middle of the parallel channel. Obviously we broke down. Okay, but yeah, I obviously haven't started. That's why I'm starting my channel from here. But I just want to show you what else happened in the past. Okay. I'm going to need to take this off of auto a second. Oh god, trading view. So yeah, we expand this back even more. And then obviously on our original low on the 6th of February, well, look at this again, touch the bottom of this midline channel, and that's where it found support. Okay, so we're starting to see, just going back in time, just really interesting for me. This was on our original low and we dropped down from 20,000. Okay, we dropped down obviously from 20,000, found this original bottom touch on the bottom of this parallel channel. We'll go back and we'll see even more what's happened here, going back, and we're going all the way back to here, the 2nd of November, just to see what's going on, just to see if there's anything here. And what do we see here? We see price being held up here on the middle of the channel, breaking above slightly, coming down, touching the bottom of this parallel channel, coming up, touching the top of it, and breaking away. But what happens? You obviously break above it, you touch the top, and that's when the break off started, really going up to 20k. So I'm not saying this is all like extra really valid stuff that you need to be looking at. But that just for me is like really cool, really cool in my opinion, that you expand it back and you start to see that this is, being touched in the past. But yeah, not too relevant, obviously, of what we're looking at now. All that's, well, I guess it is kind of relevant, but, just when you expand that back, you can see how many touches this has actually been in, potentially overall. But obviously, yeah, I have it just on from the 19th of December here. Okay, but I thought that was interesting and enough to cover for you all there. So yeah, that's explained what we're looking at here. Okay, and now going over how I am trading this. Okay, so I have actually been trading this, scalping this range now for about 2 days, 2 or 3 days. Just playing the touches of the bottom and the top channel. Okay, and this is literally just scalping. So because the range, we're talking about like a 1.5% range. Okay, like the range is really small. So you can sculpt this on whatever exchange you want, ×3, ×5 leverage. Just like sculpting just up to the top. Okay, so you'd sculpt here, for example, 1.5%, then you'd sculpt back down to the bottom, 2% move, then you sculpt back up to the top, 1.5% move, then you sculpt back down to the bottom, 1.5% move, and you're just sculpting here until you get a candle close above it. On the bigger time frames, here was a little bit of a fake out. Obviously it was a little bit of a fake out, but on the next candle you're coming straight back down. But this was when I was obviously still looking at this as a potential bull flag from at this moment in time. Okay, that we were going to form some sort of flag like this. Oh god, that's a really bad drawing. Like something like this bull flag to break up, and this was obviously our fake out. Okay, so that was the fake out, and the prices obviously now just came back down. I'm not looking at this so much as a flag at the moment because it's gone on too long, in my opinion. This flag is going on way too long. Okay, that for me is not a flag pole anymore, and the flag here, basically the way you'd get a target if you were looking at this as the flagpole is you'd take this flagpole like this, and then you would expand it from the breakout. But for me, I'm not looking at the target like this. I'm just targeting, if we break up, I'm just targeting firstly the few horizontal resistances. This one at 3,558, this one being at around 3,730, I'm going to say, and the next one just being the top horizontal line. Okay, so there's 3 take profit targets there, and not going off with a flagpole. Okay, so just so you're aware, I'm not using that flagpole as a target. So yeah, moving on. Basically I'm being really patient and making this trade come to me. So I actually wrote this up. You can come and check this out on the trading view if you'd like. I'll put a link on the chat, but you can read, because I obviously have covered this on TradingView, and I'm going to put this in the chat if anybody's interested. But basically here you can see that I was saying, like, this is like a trade that I'm waiting for it to come to me, okay? And just saying, this is what I went over yesterday, that you must rise above affiliation, neither a bull or a bear, but only seek the truth. The truth is the chart. A chart cannot lie to you or give you bias. Only your psychological factors and emotions can do that, okay? So what I'm saying here is, I'm not a bull or a bear as it stands. Firstly, I'm just sculpting the two ranges, just sculpting these two ranges, and I'll continue to just sculpt the range, which could possibly be going on for another, 2 days really before we break out. I do think we're going to get a break before that, but you have the potential of this going on till like really the start of the 16th. Okay, so 24, 48 more hours potentially in here, but I do think that we're going to get a bigger break before. But nothing in trading is guaranteed, so I do think that we're going to break up or down before, but I'm really being patient with this trade, and just firstly sculpting the ranges, really, really simply sculpting the ranges. And then secondly, I'm going to be entering a bigger position now when we actually close above here, okay? Either close above or we close below, okay? And that's when I'm going to be entering into bigger positions, because I can have the really good risk to reward ratios, okay? Well, I'd be then using these trend lines, or I'd actually take a more relevant trend line of sculpt. If we break, start to move down, I'll actually take a better trend line or Fibonacci line here. Probably I'll just take it from the 382. Okay, that would be like a nice, if we break down, sorry, then you could be like using this 382 old support as like your stop loss potentially. That would be like a way where I'll be looking for my stop loss or the 0.5. Those are two levels, these two Fibonacci lines of like good stop losses. But yeah, as you know, we've just literally been in this range for now 6 days. Yeah, we broke up on 6 days, 4 hours. We broke up on Friday. Okay, we broke up on Friday, and now nearly for a whole week we've just been moving down in this bull flag. But I am just waiting for this to close above or below. If we close below, I'm shorting down to the 618. Okay, if we close below here, I'm going to be shorting down to this 618 region. Okay, so this 618 being at 3,480, let's just say 3,483 here, because on this 618 Fibonacci level we actually do have horizontal support as well. Okay, with here being support, resistance, and resistance, you just expand this and you see that there is big support on the 618, so that has to be your first target in my opinion. The 618 here, that would be a brilliant place to take profits on the 618 Fibonacci. Okay, so that's my breakdown target if we break down, and this will be like not a massive position, but that would be my first position for a short down to here, and then a potential of a long off of the 618. But this is something that obviously I'm going to be alerted. I'll have my price alerts going off, and I'll trade this in the time, depending on whether I flip into a long. I'll definitely take the short down to the 618, but potentially not long off of the 618 yet. The longing off the 618 is something I'll be sculpting on like the 1 minute time frame, and I'll see the signs of whether we're actually bouncing off the 618, whether we move down, form a lower wick, for example, whether we get some nice bull volume showing up, what the order book looks like. This is something I'll be trading on the 1 minute to decide whether I go into a long, but I will be closing my shorts here. Or at least taking profit, at least 50% of my position I would close on the just 618 here, and then if it looks like we're going to continue down, then I would leave the last 50% with a trading stop loss, but if it looks like we are turning around, then I would close the whole short and flip into a long. Okay, because this is support. Okay, although sometimes you can obviously break through support, you have to just as we were looking at this as resistance, oh god, just as we were looking at this as resistance when we broke down, obviously this was our resistance area, but what happened? Price went straight through the resistance. This isn't too normal in trading, but it's Bitcoin for you. You just go straight through that resistance. You wouldn't generally see this in like a big liquidity sort of a big volume stock, for example. It's not, you don't see this too often where you smash through such big resistances with no problems. Okay, this was just low volume pump, and that's this is let's just load up the volume and show you what happened here. This was just a sudden spike in volume, just breaking through resistances, the volume then totally just dying off, and that's why we're heading back down here, because there's been no volume follow through at all. You get the bull move and then the volume drops off. Okay, that volume then just drops off. I have no idea that Oh, cool. New subscriber, Orion. Hello, my friend. um, but yeah, that's what happened here. You move up, then you just consolidate. You're just moving down because there's no volume follow through. There's no follow through from the bulls at all on the move. Okay, and that's why we're just slowly petering down here within this. Could be looked at as a falling wedge. Possibly a falling wedge. That looks more like a falling wedge to me now than what it looks like a flag. Okay, let's just load up a falling wedge here, just to show you like what all we are. Let me show you all on BTC USD on Bitfinex. I don't think I have too much. Yeah, here. So obviously we were forming prior. We formed this falling wedge. Okay, we formed this falling wedge like this. More or less like this. Okay, this falling wedge broke up. Okay, that was a falling wedge that broke up, and now it seems to be like you're forming another sort of falling wedge in here. Okay, something like this. Just really, really rough. It does seem to be forming something like this. Okay, so we saw one falling wedge break up, and now we have another potential of a falling wedge. And I could line this up a little bit better, but you sort of get the idea that potentially we're forming another falling wedge in here. Okay, so falling wedge, breaking up, falling wedge, the potential of breaking up from this falling wedge just to hit the resistance and find resistance here. Okay, so I'm still bearish at this resistance line. There's no need for me to be looking bullish at this resistance line. But it does seem, obviously, there are bullish signs in here. Okay, there are bullish potential. There is bullish potential in here. Okay, we obviously have the support at 618. We have this possibility of a falling wedge forming in here. But I am not entering along until I get confirmation of some, closes over this resistance line that has been keeping us down all week. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at on this. That's how I'm trading Bitcoin, and I'm just being really patient, waiting for this setup to come to me. There's no need, or I don't personally see the need, unless you obviously are, you're holding longs off of these lower wicks. I mean, if you were accumulating in this bottom region, then obviously you're going to be doing quite well if you're accumulating down here. But I'm not accumulating here. That's your option. If you're looking bullish here, you could obviously accumulate. If you want to take the lower wicked regions, then you could obviously be. I mean, it's hard to accumulate in that zone. You'd want to give you a bit of a bigger zone, but if you want to accumulate in this region for you're expecting a pump up to here, then you definitely can be accumulating in here. But I'm not actually accumulating right now because I'm waiting for the setup to come to me. If I was really bullish, I would be accumulating right now, but I'm not really bullish. I don't see the setup or the need to accumulate in this range. I prefer to play the breakout, to be honest. I would trade that breakout, or I would accumulate if we come down to the 618 and I'll hold support. I would accumulate on the 618. That's a region I'd accumulate. But here in this region here, I'm not accumulating. I don't see these. The setup for me is not worth trying to short-term accumulate on this. For a distribution target of the top. I prefer to actually play the breakout, trade the breakout for a top. Well, as I said before, I wouldn't go straight for the top target, but I would be targeting here, and then my top target being the third. Okay, of that's a 33%, 33%. And 33%. Here I'm not accumulating. Don't see the point. But fair enough if you're accumulating there. That's why technical analysis is nice, because some people are going to be accumulating here because they obviously believe we're breaking up. And fair play if we do, and I'll miss a few percent, but I will still get in on the move. So it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, you get and gain a few more percent, but I prefer to look for the 618. See if we hold on to 618. Yeah, sorry, I haven't been looking at much comments. Love from Dubai. Shout out to Dubai, legend. Yeah, Dubai's a good place. What leverage do you recommend? I'm using BitMEX. I know not the best, but what I know, BitMEX. Okay. So yeah, just a word of warning. None of my videos are financial advice, so please don't take anything I say as financial advice. But in terms of what I would personally use, me personally, I would go up to times 25 leverage. What would I recommend for a beginner? I would say a beginner should use 0 leverage. And then what would I say for a sort of person that kind of knows what they're doing with trading? I would say up to a times 5 leverage is okay. So you have different levels of where you're comfortable. Really the best is times 0 leverage. And just going spot. But if you want to use leverage, then times 5 is kind of acceptable. You don't really want to be going above times 25 in my opinion, or I don't anyway. But yeah, I don't see the need of going above that. There's, I don't really regularly do that either. I will regularly just use times three. Times three is nice, depending on the exchange. Times five, that's fine for me. So yeah, that answers the accumulation. That question. Um, Good. Okay. Yeah, there's not too much questions, which is cool. But yeah, I just wanted you to really point this out and show you all how valid this, zone that we are in at the moment. And if we close down, lot of short into the 618. Seeing if we're getting a bounce. If we don't get a bounce on the 618, keep that short open, or 50% of the short open. I will definitely take profits at the 618. Take half of it off the table and use a trailing stop loss. Then with that trading stop loss set, I'd trade it down to wherever I get then, stopped out of that trading stop loss. Obviously the potential, I'd close all of it out at the bottom of this symmetrical triangle trend line. But that's how I'd play a short. And then if it looks like we're holding support on the 618, start accumulating on the 618, because it gives a really nice risk to reward ratio. Okay, should then we actually, obviously I'd want to see accumulation here start happening, either a wick, we can wick onto it, or a nice sideways accumulation on the 618 would be nice. But cryptocurrency is like not that great for seeing sideways accumulation at nice places. It happens, but on Bitcoin not too often. I mean, not really too often you see sideways accumulation on nice areas. I mean, obviously at this bottom that we formed here, this accumulation would obviously have been going on in this region here. This would have been like people accumulating with like a drop down and then going back up. But the people that accumulated here obviously were, ended this in really nice profits. But it's hard to get these accumulation periods in Bitcoin. Obviously, this was the other example of accumulation going on, where we had this sideways movement here. We obviously moved sideways for a few days here, and then we broke up. So this was a nice example of some accumulation going on, with the top bottom of this trend line being touched. Obviously in the falling wedge, I didn't trade this long, but that was obviously in hindsight nice. Would have been a nice potential for a long there. But yeah, now obviously I would like to see the accumulation on the 618. So I think that covers Bitcoin and everything that I wanted to go through here. I'll move on now to EOS. Okay, so just to reiterate one more time, I have no bias at the moment. I will trade up and I will trade down, and it all depends on me, this pattern that I've got right here on the screen. I just want to show you, like on the 15-minute chart, how of this trade has gone. Okay, 15-minute chart, coming down, touching the bottom trend line, entering a long, up to the top trend line, entering that short, and then that's two trades done in with the space of a few hours here. And touching the top, touching the bottom, still seeing clear rejections. So yeah, these trend lines are really, really valid. So that's why I'm just trading off of those, letting it come to me. So moving on to EOS. EOS, there was not really too much that I wanted to cover actually. Just showing you all obviously on the exponential moving averages, the 200 daily moving average, where I closed my position on the long. Obviously you all know that I longed when this come back and retested. Okay, so this comeback, we obviously were being held down for 51 days of the 6.5, 6.18 Fibonacci level. Okay, so this 6.18 Fibonacci level was really strong resistance for 51 days. We obviously broke above this triangle, come back down and tested it as support, and then we moved up. I closed my position all that long at the 200 daily moving average. Okay, and that was a 8% gain. Okay, so that was just a back test. This is like a really conservative, really easy trade. Okay, you wait for the retest. Doesn't always come, but when it comes, a really lovely trade. You wait for the retest, it come here, and I traded up to the 200 daily moving average. When I closed here, I had some people message me like, oh my god, why are you closing at the 200 daily moving average? We're gonna keep going up. Like, why are you closing? Obviously I closed at the 200 daily moving average. We did move up slightly above it, but now the next day we've come back down below. So this was obviously people that were trolling me here for closing. I got a last laugh, because obviously we're now below there, and that's where like just not listening to what other people say and things like this have no influence on me. If I was easily influenced, I would have thought, oh my god, I need to buy back again. But I'm really confident in my own technical analysis and not listening to others' opinions. And I know that was correct because it worked out here. But this was moving on to Zakia. So ZIL next. And then on ZIL, this was actually a trade that has, the way that I played it has been fine, but we have broken down from this triangle. Okay, so the way I traded this originally was obviously before we had this triangle here. I was just looking at this support that was being held really nicely. So when you see this and you see lots of wicks down into this region, that was for me signaling accumulation of here. Okay, that was for me signaling accumulation, like real strong wicks down, like nice movements up, but being held down by a clear resistance. And prior, we were being held down for this resistance. Okay, so for me, this was my original reason of buying in here, just seeing the sideways for me what looked like accumulation. Okay, so that was me buying on here, and then having the stop losses just below. Okay, so then if that was not accumulation and you break down, then you still have your stop loss to protect you. Okay, so that's how I'd done this trade. Okay, and then obviously what happened on Zakia here, the price moved up and moved down to form a higher low. It moves up and forms a higher low. At this point, I obviously don't need that box. Moved my stop loss for where I was buying in up into profits. Okay, you move the stop loss up into profits. Okay, there's no need to keep your stop losses at such low levels when there's higher lows that have been formed. Okay, then you start to see what actually happening here was this symmetrical ascending triangle. Okay, you want to try and line this up the best you can. You know, we're just going to take it like this. This was obviously forming this ascending triangle. Okay, something like this. Okay, with this ascending triangle, really strong resistance at 475 sats. Okay, this was a trade that I took. I was in a long position, and what I was doing was moving my stop losses up as this move was coming up, because obviously you would expect this to break upwards. Okay, and as I said, I would have longed a break up. If we had actually broken this resistance, I had limit orders waiting to be filled, but they never got filled because the resistance was too strong. Okay, resistance was too strong. We moved back down, and I got stopped out in profit. So I'm now not in a position again for ZIL, because that was stopped out, but it was stopped out in profits. So it was a little bit, it's nothing to shout home about, but it was still a decent trade, I suppose. Profits are profits at the end of the day, but not the best trade, because I did want us to break up from here, obviously, but that never happened. As you see here, I'm just going to remove this, that you see resistance was touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times on the 15 minutes. So this is going to be like maybe 5 touches on the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches on the 4-hour chart. So really strong resistance. Yeah, really strong resistance. And then obviously the price breaks down, and now not in a position actually for ZIL at the moment, and I'll just wait for this resistance to either be touched again, or we'll come back down. We're either going to come up and touch and break through finally, or we're going to come back down to this support level and try and find some more support here, and we might just be range bound for a little bit. Okay, but it's quite a big range. 3%. Okay, well, depends. Obviously, this actually is not a really big range, but you have the potential of a big range if you break up from here. Okay, because your next target is going to be up here. Okay, and that's a 7% range. So from the bottom to the top is 10% range. But you want to be having stop losses here should you break down, because you cannot short ZIL. Cool. So that's what I wanted to cover here. The next one I wanted to cover was, I can't remember what I was going to cover here. Okay. This is just going to be really quick covering of BitTorrent here. Okay, and this was just literally this trade that I made today. Okay, so I've literally just made one trade today on BitTorrent. So my one trade on BitTorrent was this buy right here on this green level. Okay, so what you see here is I'm going to need to zoom out slightly. Okay, so this was the one trade where obviously I had labeled this as the top of wave 1. Okay, so wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, coming down in an ABC like this on wave 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wave 1 has to act as support on wave 4. So this gives you the most perfect risk to reward ratio buy, because if price comes down any further than this, then you're taking a stop loss. Okay, but price actually held absolutely perfectly, and this is like why Elliott waves are so nice, because you have like invalidation points. But this was like literally a 3% move up to that resistance of the 382. Okay, up to the resistance of the 382, just like keeping it short like this. But you see obviously price coming down, holding the support of the wave 1, and then moving back up. And we're gonna want to see this not to fall around now. Okay, if you're a bull, you cannot see this fall down now and go past wave 1. If it does, then this is really bearish actually. If we break down from this wave 1 support. Okay, but I just want to zoom in really quickly. just show you that obviously held support really nicely. The 382 was just about a 3% move, 3.67% move, and now we've obviously been held down again by these 1 hour exponential moving averages. Okay, so that was BitTorrent. Gonna end looking at Binance, which was again a nice trade. Okay, so we're gonna look here on the daily. Okay, this was again just quite an easy move where we were taking our Fibonacci's from the start of this uptrend, okay, which was way back on the 19th, 29th of November, 28th of November, where this uptrend started, taking out your Fibonacci levels from the bottom of this uptrend to the top of this uptrend. And you all know this is likely going to, come down and get some bigger retracements in a sort of what we'll be looking at here is an A, B, and a C coming down, okay? That's what we're going to see, something like this, an A, a B, potential of a flat ABC like this, which will form wave 2. Okay, so we're waiting for wave 2 to form, which could come down either in this flat, maybe we get some sort of expanded flat. It's hard to say at the moment because the potential of wave 1 of A is not even in. But the trade today was simply, so the 382 at 0.002354. Okay, you zoom down here, you see that our bounce today was off of this exact Fibonacci level, okay, off of the exact Fibonacci level, okay, currently up around 4%. Okay, so that was just simply a trade-off of a Fibonacci level. Really, really strong, really bullish coin. You can't deny that BNB, Binance coin, is really bullish at the moment. Okay, and this was just using the opportunity of, bullish coin. The first retracement is going to be your buy, okay, because you would expect a bounce off of this Fibonacci level. Okay, you would expect a bounce. Zikia. But yeah, that was just one trade that I've taken today on Binance coin, and that was just simply off of that 236 Fibonacci level. So yeah, that was the coins that I've traded today. The stock market has been extremely slow as well. I took one position on Activision and that was it. The stock market has been really, really slow today, literally across the board, really, really slow. Nothing really exciting has gone on, okay? And I'm happy with that because today I was out for most of the day, out doing things and busy, so I was happy that the stock market was slow. That was nice. So yeah, a bit of a slower day all round today. Obviously, on the seeing the potential on US oil of a head and shoulders. Okay, so I'm just going to hide everything here. So I see a potential moving up to the daily here of a potential head and shoulders on oil, and I hope that this is not gonna bring everything back. But here's our left shoulder. Let me delete all this. So here's our left shoulder, here's our head, and a potential of a right shoulder coming up here. Okay, so let me just hide the EMAs. So you see here the left shoulder, the head, and the potential of this right shoulder. Clear area of support here, clear resistance here. Really, really nice risk-to-reward ratio trades when you're in a tight sideways range like this. Okay, so left shoulder, head, potential of the right shoulder. This would obviously be very bearish on oil if we are to break the support of the neckline, but you see there the head, potential head and shoulders here. Okay, after we've been forming this uptrend, very strong uptrend, which started obviously Christmas Day, kind of the time when obviously the stock market turned around, so very strong upwards movement, but now we have the potential for these head and shoulders on oil. So I'm watching that. I'll trade the neckline break. I'll just trade the neckline break. We all know that when I've been talking about gold as well, obviously gold did find resistance on that 786. I mentioned this, that I thought it would find some sort of resistance here on the 786, and it has found resistance and it has moved down. Okay, this is gold, just finding resistance on that 786. I want to see gold actually retrace down to this golden pocket. Okay, see, I'm waiting to see a retracement down to here. Okay. That's I'll obviously well, depending on how long you've been watching me for, I am a gold bull. I am in long positions on gold, okay, but I took profit, I'm taking money off the table at the 786, and I will look to add at the golden pocket ratio. Okay, so that money that I've taken off in profits, I will add at this at this golden pocket again. I'll add to there. And I've been a gold bull for quite a while now, so I'm happy with the upwards movements. But if we lose this support level here, I will close out of all of my long. Okay, I'll close out of all the long if we lose that support. But I am looking to this position to hold, where I will add back in. But if we break through and lose this support here, then I will. I'm out of the gold long. But yeah, I've been a gold bull for quite a while now. So I've enjoyed this movement. And I was a gold bull because of the correlation between gold and the stock market. Okay, you may or may not know I was bearish on the stock market. So when I was bearish on the stock market, I was buying gold. So I've been buying gold for quite a while. Okay, so I've been very fortunate with gold's movements. But yeah, moving back to Bitcoin. Oh, I had that falling wedge draw out here, but never mind. Yeah, there's that. Bit of altcoins. I'll quickly cover some altcoins that I've got my eye on to be trading. The altcoins that I want to be trading are XLM. I think XLM. Let me cover this on the USDT charts. So XLM, I see like really nice opportunities on. Okay, XLM forming like this potential really nice bottom, or I see really big opportunities on XLM because it's like so oversold. Okay, XLM, really nice opportunities. XRP, I actually see really big potential on XRP. Okay, this is also been forming this symmetrical sort of triangle. Okay, and this is like a really nice, like really low risk trade. Okay, I could line this up a little bit better, but we're seeing some sort of symmetrical triangle go on here on XRP, and I see like a really good opportunity here. So XRP, XLM. What else? Neo is looking really nice. Neo has got some really nice trades in here. Obviously, where we've seen this 5 waves up, then we wanted to see these retracements coming down. We'll see the first bounce off of this 382. Okay, currently around a 2% bounce on the 382, but I am expecting a little bit more retracement. But once I've seen an A, B, and a C come in here, yeah, I'll be buying Neo. But obviously these are things you can short as well. So I'm obviously here on the USDT chart, but when I flip across to here, you see Neo as well. Obviously as a USD you can short Neo, so there's the opportunity of shorting it as well. EOS, you all know I'm trading EOS heavily. Love EOS or trading EOS. But yeah, that's everything that I wanted to cover. I think that's pretty much everything. So yeah, keep your eye on this pattern. I believe that is everything that I wanted to go over. Those are the altcoins that I'm mainly keeping an eye on because I see great opportunities of longs on those positions. I'm excited about the potential of the breakouts. So yeah, that's trading view crypto. Yeah. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, everybody. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Obviously, being Valentine's Day, I will be out later tonight. So yeah, that's why it was just a bit of a quicker one today. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining me. I hope this video has been helpful for everybody. Yes, I think that is everything. Link thoughts. Link is too low. Although I kind of follow Link on the link we got it here. Obviously, Link has been in this uptrend, but this has not got enough volume currently for me. I don't like trading such like really low volume coins so much. It's just more the one that I will trade breakouts or when that trade breakout comes on high volume. But obviously you can see really nice. That for me is obviously looks as like accumulation, but I would prefer to I don't accumulate low market cap coins, not how I trade. I don't accumulate low market caps, but that was looks really nice. It does look nice, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not a buyer here on Link. It's just something that I only have it on watch lists, mainly because other people ask me about it, and I go through it for them. And I only will trade it on a day when it's got lots of volume, because it's too hard for me to trade all these low market cap coins. So yeah, that's Link. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining me tonight, and I will hopefully tomorrow. No, I'm like so busy tomorrow. I'm not gonna have. I won't be around tomorrow at all. So tomorrow, then Saturday. I'm not sure. The weekend I'm really busy as well. To be honest, I'm quite quite busy. My whole schedule and calendar is really busy. Actually, over the next few days. So I'm not sure when the next video is going to be. I might obviously, because if it's a recorded video, I can upload those sort of videos when I just get half an hour free, and I can find half an hour. But for live streams, and I obviously have to kind of plan. So yeah, I'm not too sure when the next video is going to be, but hopefully on the weekend I'll try and find time. But but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining me. Hope you are going to have some successful trades, and yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video that I make. Thank you all for the support so much. I'm not going to cover Tron. All I will say is I'm excited to do the chart of the week. This is something that I was going to go over, that I'm doing a chart of the week. This is like a challenge that I have going on. That this is mainly for just the students, or for the average students, but anyone can participate if they would like to. Although I'm only going to be going over this in the live stream. If you'd like to like tweet me, I'm doing this like kind of challenge. But this is like I post out a trade that I've taken on a coin, and be it here at Ethereum. That's why I'm not covering a technical analysis of Ethereum, because I want to save it for Sunday. But I'm doing this challenge. You'll feel free to partake, although you won't know the answer. I see a trade here on Ethereum. I've taken a trade on Ethereum. Then you have to like work out why I've taken this trade, and then my theory and trade will be all explained on Sunday. But this is for me like a bit kind of fun. It's a fun addition. But yeah, that's ending now, the live stream. I hope that you do all have a brilliant day. Hope you all have your alerts set. Just set your price alerts on Bitcoin and trade those breaks. You can literally get your price alert set and just trade the break on Bitcoin. You don't have to be staring at the screen unless you're scalping. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers everybody, thank you so much.